Hi there, and welcome to today's live reading from I'm Not Your Difference, a Fitz series, Book 4, by Theresa Sederholt, presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Prologue. Stone. Looking in the mirror, I don't see the man with the chiseled Hollywood features. I don't see those cute dimples that everyone raves about. I see the broken little boy who was made to feel like a dirty little freak. At 13, I knew I was different. I couldn't understand why. My friends would talk about girls, and I felt nothing. My best friend Jimmy would steal his father's penthouse magazine. Then he would pass it around as we took turns getting ourselves off. Everyone, that is, except me. I became a joke to them. The more I tried and couldn't, the more they would ridicule me. Finally, I went to my father, asking for help. Was I embarrassed? Hell yeah, but I was desperate to fit in. What I got was a whipping with his belt. He said he knew all too well what I was feeling. He fought the same feelings when he was my age. Every time I felt the urge, I would go to my father so he could beat it out of me. As I grew older, I realized the beatings did nothing. All it did was lead me down the path of despair, the despair I live with on a daily basis. My only mission now is to convince men like me that no one would want them, not like they are. These men are damaged goods at best. I've helped them to rid themselves of the guilt they have felt all their lives. It wasn't always easy to manipulate their thoughts, but in the end, I believe all they wanted was the same thing that I've always wanted, to fit in. I learned to take my time and convince them that the best thing they can do is kill the demon that lives inside of them. Ultimately, it's the only way. Of course, I was always there to help them along when they needed it. I found the easiest way to find people like me is on dating websites. Damaged men like me are served up on a silver platter. This last one was hard. It took longer to convince the Dr. Armin into believing that his mother was ashamed of him. I made him understand his God would forgive him. He had to put his mother first and end the shame he knew she was feeling. Society today says it's acceptable to be whatever you want to be. So that's what I'm doing, fitting in, ridding the world of what was unacceptable in the past. Maybe if I can rid the world of them, then all these feelings that are buried deep inside of me will finally be gone. The beast inside of me will die along with them, one man at a time. Chapter 1. Fitz. Life is good. No, scratch that. My life is fantastic. I found a balance between work and my real life. So when Andy, my best friend and brother-in-law, showed up for coffee just now, visibly upset, I put everything aside to help him. I pour us each a cup and wait for him to start. He glances around as if he's trying to figure out how to begin. I decide to put him out of his misery. We're alone, but you knew that already, so what's bothering you? I ask. He looks me in the eye, but then quickly looks away. This can't be good. Stephen contacted me. He wants to meet up. I decided to go, and before you say anything, no one knows, and I mean no one. I take a deep breath and slowly exhale, giving myself the time to calm down. What he is telling me is MJ, his sister, and my wife doesn't know why. He reached out to me. He said we had unfinished business. Do you? As I try to remain calm on the outside, I can feel the blood coursing through my veins. I didn't think so, but then he said he wanted me, Fitz. He said he needed me. I have a grip on my cup so tight I think I might break it. In my mind, I'm counting to 10, reaffirming to myself that Andy is an adult and he knows what he's doing. He wanted you. He needed you. Andy, he walked the fuck out on you. He didn't want you to have a life. He crushed your dreams. Stephen used all the difficulties of your Parkinson's like a weapon against you. Did you forget that and the fact that he didn't want Stella? Stella, Andy, your daughter. The one person who gives you purpose. I can't believe he would even consider giving him another chance to hurt him, to hurt all of us. I know that after your diagnosis, having a child was never in yours and Stephen's wheelhouse. However, when MJ became pregnant, it opened up a door that you thought you sealed up for good. Stephen was not willing to listen to what you needed. All he did was make it about your Parkinson's. I watched you, Andy, every day, a bit more closed off to the world around you. Then Stella happened. Yes, it was terrible that the only parent she had ever known was murdered, but I believe God put her in our path. She needed a family, and so did you. When she legally became your daughter, you changed. I've got to tell you, watching that change has been inspiring. Stella has changed all of us. She might be deaf, but she never lets that get in the way of loving her life. She's taught us all how to live a complete life, even if we are a little different. Bringing Stephen back into the picture would put all of that into jeopardy. Fitz, this is not like you. You're such a forgiving person. Did you ever think that maybe he realized he was wrong? Maybe he wants to make amends. This is not about me. And for the record, you can forgive someone, but that doesn't mean you let that person back into your inner circle. Jesus, Andy, what the hell are you thinking? Again, what about Stella? It's not just you anymore. I remind him. He gets up and pushes his chair in. Where do you think you're going? I fly out of my chair so fast I knock it over. Apparently we're done here. You know I always put Stella first, so don't you dare throw that in my face. Everyone comes to you for help and you're all in. I'm here just needing my best friend to talk to help me understand what I'm feeling, and you freak out. I've never known you to be so close-minded, least of all with me. He turns and heads toward the door, and I'm right on his heels. Now I feel like shit. Andy, wait. You're right. I reach out and grab his arm. Come on, let's sit down and talk about it. I promise not to be too much of an ass. He looks at his watch and takes another step toward the door. Don't worry about it, Fitz. MJ should be back any minute with the kids, and I don't want her to know any of this. Great. Now I have to try to keep this from my wife, too. Before I can protest, all hell breaks loose. The kids are running up the stairs with the dogs at their heels. Livy comes in all out of breath while MJ is trying to corral everyone. Livy is 2 days over her due date, and she's doing everything from yoga to power walking to start labor. She begged Travis to drive her up and down the streets, with the worst potholes on his Harley, no less. He finally talked her out of that one. Yesterday, I asked her how she felt. She damn near ripped me a new one. Livy, would you like me to fix you something to eat? I offer. She rolls her eyes, and the smile she has quickly fades. She gets a look I've seen before, the same one MJ had right before she went into labor. Fitz, I'm having the worst back pains. I don't need food. What I need is for this kid to get out of me already. Then she cries. Damn it. I can't handle tears. Where the hell is Travis? I sent him to work before he made me shoot him. Okay, I know you're joking, but please don't shoot my friend. I enjoy having him around. He keeps staring at my belly like he's waiting for the baby to burst through any minute, like the scene from Alien. I try not to laugh, but I can't help it. He's nervous. It's only normal. I promise, once the baby gets here, he will lighten up. Andy heads to the coffee bar and pours himself a cup. Yes, we have an actual coffee bar in our kitchen. Don't judge until you've walked in my shoes. When he turns around, MJ is blatantly staring at him. Yeah, good luck trying to keep anything from that woman, buddy. Before she can weasel it out of him, Livy grabs onto MJ's arms. Her jaw is tight and her eyes are wide. I think my water broke. Either that or I've taken up peeing in my pants, she announces calmly. Andy, call Travis and tell him it's time. Let him know we will pick him up along the way. Take care of the kids till we get back. MJ, run next door and get her bag while I help her down the steps. I begin barking orders without missing a beat. I bend down to lift her up, and when she digs her nails into my shoulder. I can walk, Fitz. Just give me your arm to hold on to. We head toward the stairs when another contraction hits. She leans completely into me and takes in deep, slow breaths. I think it's safe to say those back pains you've been having were contractions. I want to scoop her up and race down the steps, but the death look I just got leads me to give her the chance to try walking again. When we finally get to the car with MJ's help, I get her settled into the back seat just as Travis comes running out of the alley. The office is only 2 blocks away. I knew he couldn't wait for us. He climbs in the back and begins doing everything he learned in the Lamaze classes they took. MJ pulls out her phone and starts timing her contractions. She glances at me with her bottom lip between her teeth. I know this is not the time that my cock should take notice of how sexy my wife is. Some things are just out of my control. That is, until MJ turns her phone towards me, showing me that Livy's contractions are a minute apart. My, oh shit, this can't be happening to me in my car mode kicks in. Hang on, Livy. I promise you your baby will be born in a hospital. I hit the gas and break all the rules while MJ gets 911 on the line. I want to push. How much further? Livy shouts. I tilt the rearview mirror down so I can try to see what's going on back there. God bless Travis. He's trying his best to help her, but when he suggests massaging her, Livy's eyes close tight and she lets out a growling sound that scares even me. Livy, do you still have the urge to push? I ask, trying to distract her. Fitz, forget about the urge. This baby wants out. You better hurry, she yells as she is trying to control her breathing. All my years on the force, I never delivered a baby. However, I was present for the birth of both my kids, and honestly, that was enough for me. I barrel into the parking lot of the hospital. Thankfully, there's a team outside the emergency room entrance waiting for us. While they quickly get her inside, I park the car and say a brief prayer that they will both be okay. I mean, I have a direct line to the big guy upstairs. when I head inside and find MJ texting someone with that look I know all too well on her face. It's the one where she wants to throttle someone. Thankfully, for once, it's not me. Hey babe, what's the status on Livy? Classic distraction move. She rolls her eyes and sticks her phone in her back pocket. Travis should be out soon. What the hell is going on with Andy? Before I can answer, Travis comes through the door with a smile from ear to ear. I'm silently screaming, "Thank you, man, for saving my ass." It's a girl, 8 pounds, 4 ounces, everyone is okay. We're all hugging and happy that everything turned out okay. I'm hoping this is the distraction that will keep MJ from asking me anything more about Andy. I give Travis's shoulder a squeeze. So, are you finally going to reveal her name? I mean, I can't believe you kept this a secret the whole time. Piper Ann. Thank God she looks like Livy. I'm going back in there. After they get settled, I'll come back out and get you. He goes running back to Livy, and now it's just us. I take a deep breath and prepare myself for what I know is coming. Fitz, why don't you just tell me what's going on with Andy? In the end, you know you're going to anyway, so make this easy on both of us. She has a point, but a promise is a promise, and I'm a man of my word. I know very little because we got interrupted. Besides, whatever he told me was in confidence. I don't want to see him hurt. Well, I don't either, but he's an adult, and he has to live his life as he sees fit. If he stumbles, then we'll be there to help him pick up the pieces. Now, I want to check on Livy and meet Piper. We get up and head off to see Livy and Piper. Mother and daughter are doing great. Piper has a lot of strawberry blonde hair. Travis wasn't kidding when he said she looks like Livy. While MJ and Livy are cooing over the baby, Travis pulls me to the side. What's up? Before I left the office, Father O'Neill called looking for you. That's odd. He never calls. Usually he catches me after Sunday Mass. Did he say what he needed? No, he didn't. It was odd because if he needed help with something at the church, he would have asked me. Travis is right. It's very odd. I'll stop by the church after I drop MJ off at home. Now maybe I can hold my niece if I can pry her out of MJ's hands. MJ passes her to me, and as I look at her, I thank God for this beautiful gift. Piper, you are so beautiful. Welcome to our family, sweet girl. She starts to get fussy. I pass her back to Livy. We're going to go now and let you rest. If you need anything, let me know. As MJ and I head out, I look back over my shoulder and smile at the three of them huddled together. A perfect family. Chapter 2. When we get home, MJ goes upstairs. I know she's going to get into it with Andy. I need to stay out of this, so I decide to walk over to the church and see what Father O'Neill needed. This time of day, it's quiet inside, and it's here that I do my best thinking. After lighting a candle and saying a few thank you prayers, I head into the rectory in search of Father O'Neill. It doesn't take me long to find him in his outer office, attempting to fix a paper jam in the printer. Hi, Father. I'm here to put you out of your misery. He laughs and steps aside while I quickly clear up the problem. This printer has seen better days, Father. You might want to look into getting a new one. That would be nice, but it's not in the budget for at least another year. I'll pray about it for you. We both laugh. Travis said you needed to talk to me. Yes, but first things first, did he make it home in time, and how is Olivia? Yes, he did. We barely made it to the hospital. Piper Ann came into the world safe and sound. She's a cutie, looks just like Livy. Let's go into my office where it's quiet. His office is set up more like a living room. A desk with a chair in the corner is more like an afterthought. There is a television that still has knobs you turn by hand, 2 chairs, a coffee table, and a love seat. Everything was donated, so nothing matches, but it's extremely comfortable. He goes to his desk to retrieve a file, and when he hands it to me, I sit in one chair as he takes the one next to me. As I begin going through the file, I realize it's pretty thick. There are 6 obituary clippings. Then there is an autopsy report and some handwritten letters. Okay, so do you want to tell me what this is all about? I look up and ask. He's hesitating, which is not like him. I have an idea. Father, think of it as a confessional. What we say here is between you, me, and God. This is new for me, Fitz. I'm usually on the receiving end of this. Mrs. Blankenship is a parishioner here. Her son Armin was not a member of this parish. He lived in the Lower East Side of the city, and he was gay. I'm only telling you this because it has to do with why I needed to see you. She came to me last week with this folder. About a month ago, Armin died. According to the medical examiner, he committed suicide. As you can see from the obituary clippings, there have been many suicides in the gay community. Mrs. Blankenship doesn't believe it was suicide. She is the school of thought that suicide is equivalent to a mortal sin. She said Armin was a doctor and loved life. I've tried everything I could think of to help her through this. Nothing is working. The other night, I read everything in that folder repeatedly, and now, even I have doubts. He gets up and pulls 2 water bottles from his mini fridge. He passes me one and sits back down. I spread the obits out and put them in chronological order. I pull out the handwritten letters and quickly scan them. They are all upbeat except for the last one. That's a letter that was no doubt intended to be a goodbye note. Did you speak to the police about this? No, because, honestly, I'm not sure what to think. Did he take his own life, or was his death made to look that way? Am I watching too many crime shows? Probably. Do you think that you can investigate this? I might be able to scrape together some money to pay you for your time. I quickly hold my hand up, stopping him from continuing. You don't have to pay me. I'll look into this and see what I can find out. Is Mrs. Blankenship aware of the fact that you were coming to me with all of this? Yes, I had to ask her if it was what she wanted. I can give you her contact information, and if you have questions, you can contact her directly. He passes me a piece of paper with her information on it. Can I keep all of this? I wave my hand over the pile of papers on the table. Yes, thank you, Fitz. I'll sleep better knowing that you're on this. I'm not promising anything other than I will look into it. It could be just coincidence. Even though I don't believe in coincidences, but I don't want to get his hopes up. Quickly, I gather everything and head out. I'm only a block away from the office. I'll head over there and take the time I need to look over everything. If Hudson is available, I can even run it past her. She's a good sounding board. I think she's on a 4:12 shift this month, so I might catch her in time. When I get there, she's just heading out. Hey, where are you headed to? I'm going to see Livy and the baby and then to work. Do you need me for something? I want to keep her here with me, but I know she's been so excited about the baby. I don't want to take that away from her. No, you don't have to worry. I'm going to look into something for a friend, but sure, it's nothing. But if I need you, I'll call you. She leaves, but not before warning me to stay out of trouble. Since I'm the only one here, I decide to set up shop in the conference room. I lay everything out and make a board with a chain of events. I start by reading the obits more closely. I remember some of them, but at the time, I was just flipping through the paper while having my morning coffee. Every one of the suicide victims was a man. I put their names out into the internet and check any social media sites. The men are all around the same age. They all live in Brooklyn but work in different boroughs. Every one of them is some sort of professional. Doctors, lawyers, and accountants. Do they know each other? What's the connection? The only thing that they had in common is they were gay. Big deal. People are people. I wish we lived in a world without labels. I really believe that's where the trouble begins, but I digress. I pin them on the board and pull out the letters. Why write letters? Does anyone do that anymore? As I read them, I feel like I'm intruding. They are personal letters from a son to a mother. The last letter is the goodbye to his mom. I'm sorry, Mom. Please know I never meant to embarrass you. I thought it was okay to be who I am. Being gay was something that I wanted to believe was normal. Now I realize that I'm not right. It's eating away at me. I don't want you to be ashamed of me anymore. I love you, Mom. Armin. Dear God, why would anyone feel like that? You really can't fully understand someone unless you walk in their shoes, experience their pain and hurt. Where is his father? Did he have any siblings? He talks about finding the courage to be accepted by his peers. Did something go wrong at work? I pull out the ME's report. Nothing seems out of whack. I need to talk to Mrs. Blankenship. I put her number in my phone so I can call her later to set up an appointment. Right now, I need to head home. I owe Andy the attention I didn't give him before. I put everything back in the folder and lock it in a cabinet and take off.